What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Crackin' a Cold One with the Boys. I'm your host, Blair.
And I'm Joe.
And we're here chilling with nobody.
Oh, I'm Jonas.
No, I'm Jonas.
What's up, my guy?
Hey.
How you been?
Good. How about yourself?
Man, chilling.
How do you guys know each other? How did this come to be? I'm curious.
Wait, let's wait. Okay, cool. I just want to add crickets at that part. From acting class.
Oh, nice.
Acting class.
Nice.
Zach Burnett's acting studio.
Yeah, that was dope. Honestly, like the whole
Damn. Oh, God.
Shots fired.
Trauma.
Oh, God.
You know, when I was younger, my parents. Anyways, but like,
He said I was dumb. Like, oh.
A little one-star Yelp review for this place.
No,
It's good.
No,
Okay.
like it's good. Like that was good. Like Zach Barnett Studios. Like honestly, like
This is no
it's a
sponsor,
cool
but yeah, it's good.
Like there were some times where I was just like, damn, like you're gonna charge me $800 in 1 month, like, and then your intensive's $1,000.
Yeah,
damn.
And now you're gonna ask me to do another intensive that's $1,000. I was like, oh my god.
How many classes do you get for the $800?
Well, they charge like $400 for every 4 weeks, but it's like it could end up being technically 2 in 1 month because it doesn't fall month to month. It's just wherever the week falls on.
I see.
Well,
Damn.
I should probably tell you that since it's been over a year. What was that? Not in since 2022. So it's been a while. There wasn't nothing in the contract that said I couldn't say this, but I purposely didn't say anything. So I actually got to go there kind of slightly free.
Oh.
But not necessarily free. I had a friend that was she had paid for like a year membership for it, and she dropped out doing acting completely, and she wanted to give me the last 6 months of it. And so I was working with them, and they gave me 6 months. But of course, like any company, they want to make their money. So they were like, well, why don't you take another 6 months and you're basically paying half the price. So every time in class, people would sometimes mention, oh man, that the price came out, and they'll be like, yeah, they'll say like $400. And I'm just like, dang, yeah, that's crazy. But I was only paying like 166. Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, that's crazy, man.
Sucks,
like,
bro.
yeah, struggle. I'm like feeling so bad. And I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I gotta finish this out. I'll say it after I'm done. So then I'm like, yeah. So I was just, I mean, that 160 still hurt me, my broke ass at the time. But, you know, hearing y'all with the like 380 to 400, I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. I know our careers are important, but fuck, dude.
Yeah. And then they even had like these immersives or whatever they called it, and like those were like $3,000.
Immersives?
Yeah, like
I never paid attention to those emails.
It's just one like hour-long thing for $3,000?
Well, no, it's like so like a lot of them. So like an immersive will be like I think a week long, or actually no, it'll be like 3 weeks long, and it's like 3 or 4 hours, 4 days of the week. So it's like I don't know what you do as a job too. Like depending on what your job is, like you would have to like rearrange your whole schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. I know
what you do. So
yeah.
It's like, so you're spending $3,000, possibly have to ask your work to like work with you a few weeks, and then like they also have intensives that are like
every day,
6 hours. Yeah,
like
every day, but it's just 1 week.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Just other than the price, it's like, how do you even get out of work to then even afford it?
And then you're losing out on work, so then you're not getting paid.
Oh, yeah. There was overall, it was a dope experience.
Exactly.
Not gonna like. It's just we're just humans complaining about the one thing we all complain is money. So like that was it. But however, like no, great experience, and I'm not bullshitting or anything. It was met some dope people.
Worth the price?
Huh?
Worth the price?
Actually, I heard it's more now, so I feel glad. So the 1 year membership was $5,000 when my friend had purchased purchased it. Then my agent had came to me because he was looking to see if anybody wanted to take the membership. They told me it went from 5,000 to 20K, and my thought was wait, 20K, like, is there a guarantee that I'm getting a co-star out of this?
Right.
Like, is there no? Nah. So I don't know. And there wasn't anything new added to that, to the curriculum.
Oh.
It was just the price went up.
So no new value of
No, from what I saw, the syllabus and everything that they have, was like same thing. Oh wow. Yeah, no one. I mean, yeah, you got people that pay for like USC or something, but at least I think you're getting like a multitude of different things versus like. If I would say that would be okay if they were also teaching how to work behind the camera, and not just the acting. If they were doing that too, then okay, yeah, all right, fair. Yeah. I'm learning how to like actually work a camera too. All right, they have never. It's literally a school, a meditation school. That's what it's listed in under. Because they do meditation there.
Interesting. Gotcha.
Which that was my first time doing breathing and all that.
Yeah. I will say the positives of Zach Barnett Studios was that like Chris is a great teacher, John Lavelle is a great teacher, and like during COVID, I got really lucky and I signed with a talent manager. Unfortunately, not with him anymore, but like he saw my TikTok of all things, and then he commented. He was like, "Let's connect," and then DM me, and then I DM'd him, sent me his email, watched some of my audition videos, and then he called me and he was like, "I think you'd be a great fit." And then, like, long story short, like he told me to sign up with Zach Barnett, and then through that, just from like the classes I took, like it was all over Zoom, so. The coach it was all over Zoom, so the coach invited guest speakers, and like one of them was like the casting director for voiceovers for Disney Animation Studios.
Sheesh.
And so I got to audition for one of the Pixar films, Strange World.
Oh wow.
Like for the main character, and like that was wild, and that was just from like taking classes there. Like all of a sudden like the coach John, he was just like, Jonas, I need you to respond to this email. Like she wants you to audition. Like I need like either your manager's email or something. Like please answer me. Damn. And I woke up and it was like 7 a.m. and I was like, oh shoot. Okay. Like okay.
I get very nervous doing voiceover auditions because I don't have voiceover equipment, but luckily I have a best friend that has like a voiceover ISO box that just works out perfectly. But I think like if he didn't have that or I didn't have access, we'd be like, damn, okay, I guess I gotta invest a lot of money to get one or a decent voiceover kind of thing. Obviously, I heard people use a phone. No, this like if I didn't have access to
like this kind of stuff,
that kind of stuff. But
true. I
like coming to you because you know how sound works. So it's just like
it gives me an excuse to use it again.
Yeah, it's like it's very professional. I like it. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing
in the studio.
Yeah.
So yes, you are correct. Anyone watching or. You can use your mic if you have one, or you can use your phone. I've heard.
It sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds like a lav mic and stuff.
I see all the people like the YouTubers. They use their phone, which is so. I'm like, what the fuck? It's so weird to me. But have you taken any acting classes? I'm actually curious. I don't think I've ever.
No, just at college.
Oh,
with Moira, yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
That's it.
And that's the reason actually why I had to audition for the Crucible.
Yeah,
and then I got it because of that. Yeah,
boy was in there.
Hey,
who you played?
It was a struggle, but it was cool.
Who was the character you played?
Danforth. Had the most lines. I was like, God damn it.
Him and John Proctor are the two that are. And I think there's one other person there like on stage pretty much the whole time. Yeah,
mine's only in the second act, but it's like lines the entire fucking time. I was like, so memorization is not my strong suit. So like, respect to all of you for memorization.
Did you do good though? Like, did
Yeah. No, I studied my ass off, and it took up all my time, and then definitely skipped a lot of classes and did a lot of stuff just to even memorize the stuff. But eventually I got it. But yeah, mad respect for actors for going into that. It's just for theater. It's crazy.
Were you nervous at all?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. And by the second showing and third showing, it was just definitely like a muscle memory thing.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, I can get it from there. But if you're like a week to memorize things, go. You're like, fuck.
What kind of convincing would it take to get you to? Probably not so much for film, but stage. Like if some stage director really saw you and was like, no, I like your look. But for theater,
as long as I had time and it paid, I feel like I would go for it again. It'd be cool. So yeah, I've thought about it, but man, the money. Yeah, I know. Stage acting. Yeah, there's
the time.
Money's not. It's a lot of time invested.
What about you? Would you ever do some
stage acting?
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of theater when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
And then I kind of just stopped when I realized that like my passion was being like. Because like I always would watch like Disney Channel and be like, I want to do that. Like, I was like, I could be like a cool like kid on TV. What? Mm-hmm. I was such a weirdo too. But like the cool thing was when I was in Japan, my mom wanted me to like go out more and make more friends and do stuff. So like they were having auditions for Snow White off base. But they wanted to do a collaboration with the kids on base and do like some cool cross-cultural thing. Just like having like Japanese people meet like some of the kids on base and stuff. And just learn about each other. And that was an insane experience. Like, cause the play was still in Japanese. And they were casting like these American kids that like didn't know any Japanese at all, like except for like hi, how are you? Like, that's delicious, like stuff like that. And so like we worked on it for over a year, like just like rehearsing, memorize, and like we thought we were gonna have like background roles like, oh, we're a flower or a tree or blah blah blah, like, but they cast me and my brother as like two of the huntsmen, and like we had a lot of lines too, and then we had to sing, and then they got us like vocal coaches and all this stuff, and like we didn't have to pay for any of it too, like, so it was just like a cool experience as like an 11-year-old, and like to have to not only kind of learn Japanese because they had to translate it for us. And all that stuff, but then we also performed it in front of the mayor of that city, so it was just like a wild experience.
Do you still know a little Japanese?
No.
Just like, teach me.
I actually recently got an audition for something that films in China, potentially playing one of the American chefs. And because a China chef is basically doing he comes out to like Afghanistan to open up a restaurant, but at some point I guess they end up getting like some American chefs, but the script, the sides for it, it's all in Chinese. Not my lines, but most of it, I'm like, dang, man. I wonder. Wow. I'm hoping that I get on that because that would be a very, very cool experience.
And they would fly out to China, or like everything would be based here?
Everything. This director is starting to get some big things going for him, and I'm like, I don't care how small this role is. It's an under 5 role. It's only for like 2 days, 2-day shoot in China. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to like be able to work with this director for that short period of time, to just have that on the resume, because honestly that's really like a lot of
cool.
Acting is like, I want to get this person on my resume. Obviously when you get up there it's just kind of like, you guys already know my resume, it's like, oh whatever, but when you're still trying to get out there, it's like the goal is to really, you want to keep like leveling up with who you work with, just so when people in casting are looking, they're like, oh, you work with Jonas. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh, big deal. You know what I mean? So
true.
You want to keep like doing student films all day. Fuck. Which also, because I have it up here because I pulled it up, Have you guys watched? I know we're talking about a lot of acting, but that's okay. Have you guys watched the Offset?
Quiet on Set.
The Quiet on Set.
Literally, when you said
my
Disney
God.
Kid, I was like, I don't want to make this dark. But have you guys seen the Quiet on Set?
I have not seen it yet, but I've seen enough to somewhat have a that is nuts.
I've seen it.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I need to watch the last 2, but I know what happens.
What's your guys'? Because I've seen like the stuff on like YouTube Shorts and stuff. Like, what's your guys'? What's your thoughts on it? Like, you know.
Well, as somebody like, I mean, I never lived in LA when I was a kid, but like I did start at 14, like trying to pursue it, and I've been talking to agents and had one at 14. But through my experience at that, there are some kind of weird people I met that I was like, but I personally didn't have that much of a weird experience until I went to Leslie Con, and I had a friend there who she told me about her experience, and like. For example, when she was like 16, she I don't know if I should say the celebrity's name, but
Don't say it. Don't say it.
but I will say like this person, like apparently it was like he's super big too, like, and was like apparently like went up to her, tickled her and everything. Like, yeah, it was like some really creepy, gross, like you're like a 40-something-year-old man and she's 16, and like, he would just like say all this weird stuff. And I was just like, what the heck? And like, you know, it's not talked about or anything, and she's not famous too. So like, if you think about it, there's probably a lot more people like that out there.
Yeah.
And
damn, you're right. Yeah.
I actually had a friend who, when he was 17, we were hanging out with this music producer, and then like one time we left him alone with him. Like, I didn't, but like, but like he was left alone with him, and like. Then he told me, like, basically the producer tried to make a move on him. And, like, he's 17, and the guy was, I also think, in his 40s. And it's just, like, this town has, like, a lot of creeps. I'm, like, not gonna lie.
Have you, now older, have you experienced any moments?
Of, like,
And obviously don't, you know, no name drops.
not... this company, that company. Not like from anybody in the industry, I don't actually, well, there was something that was maybe not the most professional. I don't know. It wasn't like sexual.
Oh, okay.
But it was like invited me over to their place and like offered me alcohol and stuff like that. And it's just more of like should you do that if we're like, I'm not.
Wait, were you guys working together too?
We're also clients, yeah. So it was like kind of an iffy, like it could just be like, you're just a very chill, laid back, like you don't give a fuck type of personality.
Yeah.
Or it's like, were you trying to get me drunk to like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was kind of, that was maybe just more unprofessional, but not like inherently evil or sexual.
Yeah.
At least from my perspective.
What about you, Joe?
I haven't really, I mean, I'm not super in the industry.
Anybody make some advances when you at work?
No.
To your knowledge. You're like,
not to my knowledge. But I mean, the world's just full of creeps and stuff. And definitely back home, there's like stuff that came out about people that I knew that was like in high school that like, you're like, ugh, it's kind of crazy. So that's why when the show came out, the Quiet on Set, the fact that not only like there's the whole thing with Dan Schneider, and like you kind of heard that he was like a creep throughout it, and there's a bunch of like sexist and racist and a bunch of that stuff in there. But not only just him, but then also working there wasn't just one pedophile, there was 2 pedophiles at the same time. So like just even that is just crazy. There's like, they're just hiring anybody, or there's like signs and everybody's just like, that's just Jeff.
What's interesting too is the Drake spell, and how during that the one person that was on his side was Dan, which he was also a creep. But Dan to Drake, and he never made advances to Drake at all. But in the courtroom, they talked about how Dan was on his side that whole entire time. While simultaneously being a creep, which is so weird. And I think it's
just
like
levels of evil. Yeah,
it's like maybe he's like, I'm evil, but I'm not that evil, bro. like,
I'm sexist, but I'm not a pedophile.
Like, wait, what? So that was I saw like a clip of that on YouTube. So like I said, I didn't see it all, but I'm seeing it, and I can't like unsee it. So I'm like, let me just watch a little bit here and there. But knowing that, I'm like, and they said it was kind of conflicting because you have, you know, Drake getting molested, but then you have people coming at Dan, but then Dan is also like being there for this kid that's being molested too. So it's like, wait, is he a good guy or a bad guy? And Drake said he was always good to him. He never made any advances. So it's like, well, he didn't kill me, so he's fine with me, you know. But yeah, that's I've never. Let me see, because there are people that be like delusional. Let me think. Have I had delusional moments? No, nobody has on a high professional level ever made advances. Of course, as actors, there's moments, of course, you know, but as far as like a producer, nah. I mean, when I go to WeHo, there's times where people give me compliments and then try to make advances that way, but I'm like, I don't care about that shit. That shit don't bother me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thanks. You're never gonna get nowhere, but thanks.
But yeah, once work's involved, and like you're a client and like working together, then it gets it's a whole different.
Yeah, that
whole different thing.
Nah. What did you about to say?
Oh yeah, no, that's just like that gave me a memory that there actually was a time that was just more of a bit on the weird side. So I guess not too, but like I think I was barely 18.
Sheesh.
And I was trying to get headshot photographers, and I didn't have any debt. I wasn't paying any bills, but I had 2 jobs, so I was like, you know, I'll invest and get some really dope headshots. So I like hit up somebody who actually like worked for magazines, like I think Bello Mag, and like just like random
nice
like stuff that some
top
actors
notch.
are on. Yeah, and so I asked him how much he charges. He said, "Oh, hey Jonas, like you're a little cutie." And I was like, "Okay, thanks. I just want headshots."
Yeah,
I just imagine. Oh man, it's one of those moments where I think to myself like when I get compliments I don't overthink it. I just literally, because I think most people can look at me like, oh yeah, Blair's a heterosexual man, he more likely likes girls. I'm not gonna like, and I don't overthink it or whatever. That's why I had to say, like, was there a moment that was delusional and I just didn't pick up on it? But there are this wasn't a work thing, but there has been times where the advances have been very hard. Like, I'm like, damn, bro, I said no. Like, now I know how it feels to, like, be a girl in this moment right now. Goddamn. Like, this is a little too much. Yeah, so the overall, like, you said you just haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. I'm like just right now getting to the Drake Bell story, but they said who the 2 pedophiles were, and like they both got arrested. And one thing that like was crazy to me is that not only when they like raided the house, they like found a bunch of, you know, pictures and stuff, but they found his journal, and it's just like full confessions of he's just like, yeah, I'm a pedophile, I'm a full blown pedophile, and I can't help it. And like that just blows my mind that there's just like straight up admitting to everything. It's not even just like keeping it in. It's like they have to put it somewhere. So
okay, so
mind blowing.
To go to wait, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I was just curious, like, have you guys watched Nickelodeon like during the Dan Schneider?
During that era? Oh yeah.
Oh, Drake and Josh, yeah, all that.
Yeah, yeah. Ned, all that. Yeah, Ned and their podcast. Have you seen their podcast?
Was that a Dan Schneider one?
Oh
No, the Ned
Declassified School Survival Guide. Yeah.
Their podcast, man. Yo, they don't hold nothing back on there. They talk about everything in full detail, like, and how things went down. And they even made a joke about the whole like Dan Schneider thing, and they made like a skit about it. Yeah, it wasn't people were like, that's kind of messed up.
Damn.
But yeah, they talk about, I think the girl, I can't think of her name, the girl and Ned, they were talking about how they used to hook up on set. I'm like, what? What? Oh my God. But what's crazy is like, the reason why we think it's crazy is because they're celebrities. but they're still humans.
Yeah.
And like
we knew them as like kids and stuff too. They're still
right, and you can't deny sexual attraction. If you're sexually attracted to somebody or you're attracted, it's just gonna happen. And when you're on seasons, not a movie, franchises, it can happen. But if it's like 1 or 2 movies, but if it's like you know, Star Wars or like, you know, Fast and Furious, but like TV shows that go on for long, of course there's somebody's gonna end up hooking up or someone's gonna end up dating. You're around the same fucking people like majority of your life. So it makes sense, but to hear that they were doing that as kids, like kid-ish, and we were younger than them, it's like, what? Damn, y'all just banging it. Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know, it was a wild experience that kind of like reminds me of like how close you can get on set is like doing extra work for 13 Reasons Why and Euphoria, because both of them, I was a student, and like they had us for like, basically it was my only job for a little bit. Like, that's how often we were on set.
Yeah, they were filming a lot.
A lot of episodes.
Oh, that was good old days when background was like, work was coming in.
Like,
a lot.
There was like a bunch of 16-hour days, 10-hour days, 11.
People were making hella overtime.
Yeah, and so like we got like some of my best friends are from doing extra work on set.
Oh, nice.
Like, because like you just get so close to everybody. Like, you know, sometimes you're just in holding for like literally 6 hours and they haven't used you.
True.
So we're all like,
they'll come out randomly, pick like 10 people out of 200. You're like, wait, what?
Exactly.
Or they'll ask, does anyone wanna like come out? We just need 10 people, and then people will be like, and there's that one, I'll do it. I'll go. Like, because they're hoping to get their, you know, SAG voucher type of situation. Sorry to interrupt.
That's actually how I got eligible too, was from 13 Reasons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and my acting coach gave me a bunch of tips. He was like, you know, why don't you just email them or call them and just be like, yo, if you need to fill your requirements for the amount of people you need on set, like, I'm down to get a voucher. I'm trying to be eligible. Yeah. And so straight up, they called me one day to ask about some, I think, like, if I had some clothes or something. And then I was like, oh, wait, by the way, just so you know. And, like, I said the same thing. I was just like, I'm looking to be eligible. And he was like, oh, we'll keep that in mind. Then literally a week later, they're like, hey, we just want you to know we're looking for people to fill slots. And, like, would you be down? I was like, yes. I'll take it.
That's nice. That's, he just popped up. You didn't see him, but Derek, he got his SAG voucher. They actually, and it wasn't like a voucher. He got Taft-Hartley. Damn. Yeah, he came on. He was doing background work. He had to drop off a package in the scene, but no words. And then the director was like, "This just seems like basically seems boring. Yeah. Let's just give him some lines." And then in that moment, they're like, "Oh well, now we got a Taft-Hartley." So then he had to like go off set and kind of start signing these new papers, and all this stuff. So he got his thing that way.
Line
then, so he had a line. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's the same with the Eli too, through background.
If you have a line, isn't that you're a guest star or something? Is that what it is?
No, that's like co-star.
Co-star.
Yeah, when you just co-star is under 5.
Yeah.
So anything it says like the role for that in China, it's under 5. So I literally only have like 3 lines. But I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. Well, I'm with that character's actually with the lead chef. So I was like, I don't care. It's fine with me, bro. I just want to be in it.
You know, some companies do some sneaky stuff though. Like I think it might have been from Ned, like on the podcast, because like they were saying like sometimes certain companies,
it's all right.
with like especially kids shows you would technically be a guest star, but they would only pay you a rate of a co-star. And like write it legally as like you're a co-star, so that way you could get paid less. And I was like, that is like that sketch.
Yeah, even during the quiet on set when the 2 writers were, they're like, we'll split your salary, so half of you're just getting half the salary for each of you. Like, that's fucked up.
It is interesting to see like all those shows, like some of those actors that are now big, like when they did the first season of whatever, I can't think of anything, like, or Big Bang or Friends or something, they were getting paid like, you know, $20K per episode, and then immediately jump up to like $1 million or like even like 300,000. But to see that, I'm like, damn, that's a big gap of a number from when you first did that season to like, oh yeah, now we're in season 3, now I'm getting this much. But I wanted to kind of change the subject on something a little bit awesome and fun. So I thought about you guys, Joe and Shayla.
Oh, what's up? Wow. In a good way, in a bad way.
Because, and I'm sure Shayla already knows. Definitely, I know she already knows. I was actually, when I found out, I'm going to tell you, when I found out, I was like, I know she's going to like text the group and be like, so are we? But I was listening to the radio, and I actually now enjoy listening to radio because I'm starting to hear things that I would have never heard. And one of the radio stations I was listening to was giving Green Day tickets because they're coming to concert.
Oh shit! Really?
In September. Yeah, and I was looking at them. I was like, well, right now they were like cheap-ish. I'm sure they're more now, but at the time they were cheap-ish. And I was like, damn. And then at Abercrombie, they have these Green Day shirts. And I was like, this would be kind of cool. Like, man, I get this for the band or whatever. We all just like show up. But then I was like, dang, that's a lot of money right now. I need to be more smart about saving. But yeah.
When September, where's it going to be?
The Forum.
Oh, no, I've never been to the Forum.
I've never been to the Forum.
I've always wanted to check out the Forum. That'd be cool.
Are you like Green Day?
Yeah. I do. I would say like I don't listen to them as much now, but when I was younger, like same. I was really into them.
Yeah, they're emos. Wait, you're an emo kid?
No, not really. I mean, I was a weirdo though, but like I was a weirdo. Yeah, I just would listen to all kinds of music though. Yeah. Pretty much anything but country, to be honest.
Everyone says that.
Did you have an Xbox back in the day?
I have one now.
Have you ever? Because I remember, like Tony Hawk Underground and shit like that, or like GTA. You could like burn whatever CDs you had, music wise, into a library, and then like if there was like a radio, like in the game, then you could just play that the whole time. And American Idiot, Green Day was like definitely that one. So it was just on loop.
That is
pretty much for like 5 years. Anytime I played Xbox. So yeah, I totally get it.
That's sick.
What was your favorite band?
When I was younger, I don't know. Maybe, like, I listened to all sorts of stuff, like My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
I also Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah. So if you listen to those two,
the transition was going there. You go to My Chemical, and then Panic, and then definitely Fall Out Boy would be like a good transition, especially coming from My Chemical Romance.
You were an emo kid.
It's okay.
Honorary.
Here's our honorary mentions.
I also listened to like a lot of dubstep and trap when I was younger too. Like I remember being 13. Skrillex. Yeah. I was 13 listening to Skrillex like in Japan too, like walking around Tokyo. I'm just like
No. Yeah, I was pretty generic in the sense of like my mate thing was like Linkin Park, and I don't let me not downplay that. No, Linkin Park was the shit.
Yeah,
the main thing I liked about them, and I think it was because of Mike Shibota, because he could rap. So growing up, like liking Linkin Park, I actually kept it as a secret. I'm not gonna touch on it, but being like a black kid, like they, oh, you listen to that you shouldn't be, like, whatever. Yeah. But interesting enough, as I got older, come to find out, a lot of like urban places, they all listen to Linkin Park. Like Linkin Park was one of the emo songs or whatever you want to call it, bands that transitioned to like, the black communities and stuff like that. As I got older, I found that out.
That's dope.
And because of Mike Shibota, he could rap. So it worked out, which, I wish I could have saw them in concert, but it is what it is.
It was a cool bridge between hip hop and rock and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. What's your, because this is one of the topics of the day, is how long is the talking period?
How long is what?
The talking period when it comes to relationships.
Ooh.
How long is too long? Like, is there like a, is a cutoff? Like, if
like
let's say I'm one of
meet?
your friend and I'm like, we're talking and we've been talking for like 3 to 4 months, would you be like, damn, y'all guys haven't made it official, or will you be understanding?
I would say I would still be understanding because, like, I mean, I don't know. I had some friends, especially best friends, who they moved too fast. And so then, like, me not having too much dating experience, like, that's my only, like, perspective. I was like, oh my God. Like,
That's fast.
Yeah, like, I had a friend that moved in after dating someone from 2 weeks. And I was like, yo, you just met her. Like,
2 weeks?
What? Yeah, and he was like, I love her, blah, blah, blah. And then they broke up. And then, like, after, like, I think, like, 4 months, though. And then he then met some new girl. He would pay for, like, everything, like, all her meals and stuff like that.
Oh, he was one of those friends.
Yeah, and, like, apparently she loved him, blah, 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 but then she was, like, kind of jealous of me for some reason. And I was just like, I was like, you can see our messages. I'm not, like, trying to, like, steal your man. But you're good. But, like, she blocked me. Yeah, I was like, ew. And, like, she blocked me and stuff too, because I just checked her page because I was curious what she looked like, and like, yeah, I was blocked, and I'm like, damn, okay.
Damn,
I haven't even met you, and you took it personal. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, people wilded, and then they broke up, but like it was after a year, but still, like, he like she lived rent free, like. You know,
did he have
paid
money?
for 2 gym memberships, kind of.
Oh, okay. You said 2 gym members. Yeah, he had money.
Yeah, like, well, now he's like, he kind of spent a lot of it.
Yeah, at the time he was.
Yeah,
he was doing good.
You want to know what it was from? It's kind of spicy.
Here it comes. Go ahead.
He got it from OnlyFans.
What?
Yeah, he
Whoa.
like. Like during COVID, like it was so random too, because he never wanted to work a regular job, and I would always be like, bro, like, you don't have to do it for your whole life, just like, you need money now, just get a job. And he was like, nah, and I was like, okay, whatever, it's your life, like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. And then like one day he just calls me, and then like, I'm not even gonna lie, it was kind of sus. Like, he straight up messaged me on Snapchat, and he was like, "Yo, can you review some photos for me?" And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And then he was just like, "So, okay, no homo, but like, I'm doing OnlyFans. Like, it's this thing you get, like, and this is before it blew up.
Before it blew up,
like,
oh,
it was
wow.
like." I think
he was one of the pioneers.
One of the pioneers.
yeah, the leaders in the
One of the leaders that paved the way.
Yeah, set precedent. But like, he straight up was just like, yeah, no homo, but like, I have these, like, you know, he explained what the platform was and like how you get paid. And I was like, and he was like, so I have these pictures of my dick, and like can you tell me if they're good photos or not? And I was like, that's weird. That's weird. And he was like, come on, we're very close. And I was like, if you're that desperate, like, sure. Like, and so like, yeah, he said it and everything, and I was just like, I guess they're yeah.
That's really.
You posted and like, but it started off small, but like, it was kind of creepy. There was like this creepy manager involved, and like,
Always a
but
creepy manager.
like, he did pay like pretty good to him. Like, I think he recorded like a 10-second video and got like $500, and then like, once he started doing more OnlyFans stuff, like, you can even tip on there, and like, there's some rich people. I seen some of his messages that like offer him like $100,000, $10,000 to like, do this stuff, and I won't say who he is because he would probably kill me. But he also like does, like, he's pretty big on TikTok, and like, I think that also factors in some of the fantasy, I guess. So people offer like wild amounts of money that I'm just like, what? But he's like, I can't do it. Like, that's just not who I am. But it's like
I can see why OnlyFans definitely blew up, because you have like, you know, Pornhub, where unless the user makes their thing private, you could see it, right? But imagine like there's always that guy or girl that everyone has like secretly might have fantasized about once in their life, and then now they're on OnlyFans, and it's just like, let me just like how much?
Peek behind the curtain.
$5? Okay, let's see. And then you see them, you know, like either naked or, you know, slightly naked, but then it's just like, oh wow,
yeah,
I knew it. I knew they were, you know,
like dead,
you know, like you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So that power of illusion definitely reels people in, and then the money, the amount of money that these people can make.
Is he still doing it now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
with the money.
Like how can you walk away from that?
Yeah, it was like $30,000 a month at one point. And
I heard it has decreased for a lot of people.
Walk away. $30,000 a month.
Right?
Joe, man, do what you got to do, bro.
That's as a guy. For guys, like it's harder to get people to like pay for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of course there are, but like, for example, I'll admit it because I actually almost went on TV for this too. But
shit!
I almost was on the James Corden show because they're gonna do a bit about like stuff your parents don't know about you, then they're like, "What's your thing?"
Sorry.
And like there's like a bit where like your parents don't like it's something they don't know about you.
Yeah.
And they're like, so what's your thing? And I was like, oh, so like, yo, low key, I do phone sex. And like the producers, like this is with the producers of the show.
What?
And I'm on the phone with them. It was weird how I even got to that point. And then they started laughing their asses off. It was so funny. They were just like, what? And I was like, yeah, so I do that. And they're like, that's amazing. That's amazing. Can we talk to your dad? And like, so then I gave them my dad's number, and then we did a 3-way call.
Yeah.
And like, they're like, okay, we'll let you know if this goes the next round. It didn't, but like, that was a wild experience. But like, where I was going with that is that like, me alone, I have made like phone calls that like less than an hour. You can charge by the minute, and I made like $100 in one phone call, and it was like 48 minutes. Like, and I was like, yo. So like I would work 2 jobs and then do that when I get off the second job, just because like.
Wait, this is for real?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I thought this was something the producer like, hey, just say this or like act.
No,
like that's
for
like,
real.
I actually was auditioning for the show. Yeah, and I told them like that was my thing. And
what?
yeah.
I never.
How do you get into that? What?
So like when I moved to LA, so like LA.
Of course, in LA, you can do any job.
Yeah, everybody's just sexual. No, but but my roommate, she actually was from acting class. We used to live in Sacramento, and we took acting classes there, and some wild shit happened in Florida when I was living there. Like my life has just been drama. But anyways, I had to leave like the living situation in Florida because like the guy got arrested by the FBI.
Sounds about right. Florida.
Yeah.
It's all crazy shit.
Yeah.
You said your roommates now are kind of weird too. Right? Bad roommate situations.
And I can show you guys like the news link too if you don't believe me. Like it was wild. Like the FBI got involved and like
in the situation in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like
sounds about right. Yep.
Drugs.
Yeah. I would say it's similar to like the whole Quiet on Set
situation.
situation.
Goddamn.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
Like that was the whole thing, and like I lived with that person too, so I was like trying to get out. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, of course.
And my friend, she was like super sweet. She was like, okay, like, you know, you don't have to worry about paying me rent or anything. Like, just move in for now, and then just start applying for jobs. And then that's how I kind of got into it. Because once I moved in with her, I was very good at applying for jobs. I got one like the first day. Like I already was applying before I moved. Like because that's how much I wanted to just escape. And I worked at Burger King. And then I was just like, this is shit. It was like $12 an hour, and like in Glendale, that's where I was living. Like you can't pay your rent off of $12 an hour. Like not even if you split it.
Now it's
like,
20.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if fast food places, but at restaurants. Like
Some
I still
restaurants
get
are-
17, but the tips though. So.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're at a good place.
Yeah, exactly. And I work at Din Tai Fung and
DTF.
Cheesecake.
Woo woo.
So like, and those checks sometimes, like I only work like sometimes like 26, 30 hours. And like taxes suck, but before tax, I'm like, damn. I was like, the tips were like 800, fuck, and like I'm not even a server.
For you?
Yeah, and I'm not even a server. So like, imagine like their nightly tips.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, bro.
One of your checks,
Like-
you personally,
Like the tips,
had,
they still tax it, but
like you had $800.
just in tips for the 2 weeks though. But
So
still.
that's at least like you before taxes, you probably hit like somewhere like 1,600 off of one check.
Well, before tax, I'd say one of my most recent was like $2,000, and that's just from the, yeah.
Yep.
First, what do you do at
And
DTF?
I'm just a busser, yeah. So like, imagine like
I
the
could throw some
servers.
shade to somebody right now, but you know, some people need some jobs.
Well, at Cheesecake, for example,
Wow.
one of the lead servers who's
Fucking
gonna
shit.
become a manager, he like randomly walked. He's a character.
What you
He
said,
seems
Cheesecake?
like- yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he reminds me of a movie character. Like he walks and talks like some fancy dude, but he's chill. Anyways, he was telling me that he thinks I should go into serving eventually. Like he saw the potential or whatever. I was like, "Yay." But anyways,
Yeah.
where I'm going with this is that he said he made like $500 in one night 2 nights ago, and that last night he made $300 in tips.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, okay. Like if you add it up, like that's a shit ton of money in just 1 week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
That's very addicting. It's very ironic that we're talking about this too, because one of my good friends, Tyler, he texted me this morning, sent me a picture of like I want to say $1,300 to $1,500 that he made in like 3 days bartending. And he's like, bro, this is why I don't know if I want to leave.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, hold on. Still pursue your dream. However, do this. Maybe 6 months here, 6 months back and forth. Because I've heard people have done that where they do 6 months in New York or Atlanta or LA, and, pursue the dream where there's music or acting. And then 6 months up, then they go back to their hometown, rack up money, bartending typically. Then they back out again. They just do that back and forth. I'm like, I mean, yeah, if you're making that in 3 days, bro, like you can almost like live in LA for 6 months comfortably. Comfortably, and then just go back home, rack up. I think about doing bartending, but I'm just afraid of fucking up. I will be honest.
Fuck up how?
Just like messing up on somebody's like drink order, like accidentally, like, maybe not had like poured the right amount. Same with like serving. I just get worried that I'm not going to hear somebody. I accidentally heard something and then might have messed up. Because, even though I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, I did being on just like the expo as an outside expo. I hear the servers, oh, I messed up, blah, blah, blah. And I see it. So seeing it firsthand, I'm like, damn, man, I don't even know if I could do it. And some of those people, and like, they're very intelligent. They're not dumb. So even if they're making mistakes, I'm like, man, I don't know. And food, it's not a place that you want to mess up anybody's fucking order.
True.
It really is
True.
not. So I would rather just be a busser, because I mean, they make at high end places, they're making a lot just them being a fucking busser, or being a food runner, or outside expo. I would rather do outside expo, because they're like a chef in some restaurants, but they're not really. They're just plating the food, which is very important though for presentation. But damn, dude.
Yeah.
Even something we were trying to talk about before is like, you got to be a multitasker too, and then just work at it long enough to like get the flow of it, so it's all muscle memory.
Yes.
So it's that's an investment in itself. So I get you there.
Yeah, I get. You know what? I'm glad you point that out, because when I did hosting, there was times like me being a DoorDasher and I'm going to pick up food and I'm literally looking at the host and they're like ringing out a customer, but I'm sitting there. I literally see my food. All it takes is like for you to like ring out and wait for them to swipe, because at the moment they're swiping or getting cash, there's a break period. Like let's say they're like pulling out their card or they're doing Apple Pay. There's like 2-3 seconds you have to like wait for them to do what they have to do. You could literally just lean over like, oh, are you picking up something? That's all you have to say. But I think just people are just so stressed out in those situations that they're afraid of like fucking up, which is my point for serving, of like, I'm just afraid to fuck up. However, I can kill the hosting thing very easily. I can ring out somebody and hear how many people you want to sit down. That's very easy. But like food, I'm like, I'll take a L on that.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Be a multitasker, people.
Figure it out. Figure it the fuck out.
Because your parents didn't tell you how to use a credit card correctly.
Oh, dude, speaking of work, let me get that one thing off the list that we were talking about. So this week or just past weeks has been like really busy at work. Do you ever get to the point where you never really like use your phone? You're always just like, you got to find time to use your phone. Do you ever get that busy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the one time, at least this week, I found like times that I'm like not busy enough to where I can actually check my phone is whenever I'm like peeing or like just going to the bathroom or something. So I was sitting there peeing and was like, oh, let me check my phone and like send some texts. And then this time around, I was doing that and it was kind of a work message. And so I was texting and then I accidentally hit the voice memo button. So while I'm peeing, I just see you can just see the audio go. It's just like, psst. I'm like, fuck, shit, fuck. So it was just piss, fuck, shit in there. And then and you can't, and then if you try to hit exit, it also like hits it to upload. So I accidentally hit upload real quick and then upload that. I'm like, no. And I had to like right click and then delete it real quick.
I'm dead.
And then so if they would have caught that right then and there, they would have just heard, fuck, shit, fuck.
That happened to me yesterday. I was
same thing.
The voicemail. I was contemplating on texting something to someone, and I got out of the thread. But then when I got back to the thread, I just see the audio thing going. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I didn't press this shit, bro. Yeah, I did. I was like, I need to. Yeah, so I almost accidentally sent. God knows what the fuck I was saying.
Right? Dude, the voice memo thing is scary sometimes.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I do like voice memos when I need to properly express myself because of tonality reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are times where I'm getting ready to say something. I'm like, this could potentially go out bad if I don't add LOLs in it.
Yeah.
So let me just voice memo so you hear what I'm saying. Because people, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
True. The tonality of it.
Learning that.
Speaking of voice memos, Luke, he always sends me a voice memo, and it's usually of his fart, and I haven't checked it today, so I'll just play it real quick.
Oh, hey there, bud. Figure it's been a minute since I sent you a greeting, so here's a greeting for you. Oh, buddy, I sure love you.
So yeah, that's Luke.
I literally, like before it even happened, I'm just like, oh Lord, no.
Hey, here it comes.
That is fucking hilarious, dude. What? Luke's doing good though.
Yeah, he's doing good. That's how you keep a friendship alive. So.
Is he coming back?
No, I don't know. Remember last year, he just like day of our birthdays, he's just like, I'm just going to come out. I'm just going to fly out. He's like, what? Okay, so probably maybe over the summer he might swing by.
I've had a few people ask me what I want to do for my birthday. I'm like, I literally have just said now, I don't know, whatever Joe's doing, I don't really care. I
already told you.
I don't want to think. Yeah, the Jumbo's room. Yeah. I don't want to think. So if someone wants, I just want to be in a la la land. So if anyone else wants to plan, great. But it's just putting a thought of like what to do. I'm like, just say happy birthday. That's fine.
It's a lot of work.
So fine. Last year, yeah. I did in a couple years before that. But now I'm just like, just
whatever happens, bro.
Whatever happens. Which
when's your birthday, Jonas?
July 2nd.
What'd you do last year for it?
July 2nd.
Yeah,
you're a Cancer.
So
get some birthday ideas real quick.
I actually ate at Din Tai Fung on my birthday. My dad, he doesn't live in LA. He lives in Las Vegas now.
Oh, big timer.
He his job transferred him, and he actually like drove in to see me, and we actually ate at Din Tai Fung, and it was chill. It was like a chill day. You know, we walked around Glendale. I showed him around LA. He met my ex best friend. Drama.
At that time, ex-best friend?
Yeah. Well, no, at the time, best friend. But like so much has happened.
Oh, Lord.
My God, I don't even know if I should get
Nope,
into
don't do it.
That'll be like a whole like 3-hour podcast.
And that's with leaving out the details. It's still going to be long.
Like part 1, part 2. This aspect. This part of this person.
Couple side TV shows out of it. Everything. Spin-offs, all that.
Our friends and their point
friends,
of views.
their point of views. Oh, fuck no, man. Yeah, I'll never forget, like, and this will be a long conversation, but I'll make it short. When you were talking about your situation, about the whole roommate thing on social media, and I was just like, I was literally watching, I was like, this dude probably has a lot of people invested, because you were going in on the situation about what was going down.
Can you get?
And you're like, I'm about to expose
this,
this, man.
Spark notes.
Stay tuned for tomorrow. I was like, fuck, I gotta watch now tomorrow.
Part 2.
Yeah, no, this dude was going in on somebody that was disrespecting his privacy and then other stuff that.
Yeah.
It was the Spark notes on it.
So basically, like, what I could probably say on the podcast is there's just like so much drama. Like, it's so much like it basically involves like the people invited to the house and their actions. Like, one person like, and the crazy part is like the person who sent me this warning text. I'm not friends with them anymore either, but they warned me saying like, "Hey, this person is trying to steal your weed," and I was like, "What?" And he was just like, yeah, he might try to hang out with your roommate and like to try to come over and then be like, oh, hey, Jonas, and stuff like that. And I was like, what? And then he was like, here, if you don't believe me, and sent me a screenshot of basically like, yeah, do you think I can probably like steal a gram of Jonas's concentrate? Like, do you think like he won't be paying attention?
Oh,
Do
shit.
you think he's too stupid enough to not. And I'm like, what? Yeah. And then at first my roommate didn't believe me. I was like, no, I don't want him over. Like, he's not allowed to come over. Like, I know you're a grown man, you pay rent too, but like, he's threatening to steal stuff from me. Like, no, you can't come over. Like, And then he was just like, yo, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Like, and all this stuff. And I'm like, dog, like, you don't have to like me. It's just saying, like, if somebody was like threatening to steal your stuff, I wouldn't actively invite them to come
of course,
over.
that makes sense.
Yeah, have him go over to their house or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can still hang out and be friends. I'm not telling you who to, you're still an adult. But
yeah,
because it's not like you can lock your room, right? There's no lock on your door.
Oh yeah, I can't even I can only lock it from the inside. I can't lock it from the outside.
Yes.
It's like and so I actually last night installed a Ring camera. So like
on your door, not even just the outside door on your door.
Inside my bedroom, facing the door. But the cool thing is like the app, you can set it up to where it will tell you if somebody is like in your room or whatever. So like I actually was testing it, and like as I was like leaving and entering my room last night and this morning, I get notifications on my phone like a person's in your room. I detected a person, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And like, so it's pretty
just
dope,
saying a person's in your room, that sounds kind of scary.
Yeah,
imagine being in your room and you get that and you're just like, who is it?
Like,
but you didn't hear the door open. You didn't hear the door. You're just like,
that would be like a scary cool screen premise or something.
Yeah. Someone's in the kitchen, but you're like, I'm in the kitchen. It's like a ghost movie. Well, let's stop. I don't want people to take our ideas.
Right. Use AI and not pay us.
Yeah. Got him. We got him, boys. Story, copyright, it's ours now. Sorry, no, keep going. So the notifications, they work.
Yeah. So like, that's helped me. But the fact that I got that paranoid to where I'm like doing all that shit but it's like I got to now, because like literally, like, I don't want to say too much about him or what he does, because I don't want him to be like, oh, I'm gonna, because like he's already threatened some like wild stuff.
Yeah, of course.
That I'll probably show you screenshots of. But like even people at work know about it now, which that's like why. But like, so people at work know about it too now, and they're even like, this is wild.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Like,
just the fact that you had to put it in your room.
Yeah,
You got to that point.
Because like there was times. This person, I will say this person knows they can't disagree with this. So like there was times I would come home from like McDonald's or whatever job I was working, and like my bedroom door was open, and like you can start to see how this would fuck up my brain a little bit, because I'm like, I swear I closed the door.
Of course, yeah.
And there's always going to be denial,
and there's always the possibility that you could have left it open.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're like,
so it's
let
like
me,
I don't want to yell at anybody for not,
That's
you
all.
know. So there was like
actual
small stuff.
evidence,
Yeah.
like straight up evidence to
Yeah.
then go forward. Yep.
But then, so one day though, when I came home from McDonald's, it was like 3:30 p.m. I just see my bedroom door open, and I'm like, no, I know for a fact it's closed like this time. And so I go up to him, and I'm just like, hey, like, why is my bedroom door open? And he goes, I was playing video games in there earlier, and I was like, first of all, I could tell he had to come up with something.
Yeah.
But then two, it's like the fact that he even went in there when by this time we already had discussions. It's like, bro, I know we're like close, but you can't just like go in my room.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like, it's still my room. And he would be like, well, you have cool shit and I don't. And I'm like, what if I just been in your room? Like, and he's like, no. And I was just like, exactly. Like you can't give me the same courtesy, you hypocrite.
Because you have cool shit. That's the reason.
I was like, you baby, what the fuck?
So I want to play video games.
Yeah, I'm like, buy your own Xbox, like shit. You have to say. Well, I shouldn't say it, but like and then it turned into more. Like I found out, like not only was it like he ended up after that when I was like, bro, like I don't really trust you now. And then he was just like, what the fuck? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes into the room, starts complaining about me. It's like the audacity. Like I'm not even like being that rude to you as I could be given the scenario. And then he starts talking me to the guy who like was planning to steal from me. He invited him over again.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then another guy who like literally pushed me against the wall and then banged my head against the wall. He starts like shit talking about me to those people after he invaded my privacy, going into my room, playing my Xbox.
Sheesh.
And all I said was, I don't trust you, and that's your reaction when it's very valid I said that. And like, so I went off. I was just like, oh fuck no. And like one time when he invited him over, I straight up called the cops. I was like, I don't give a shit if like people call me a rat or anything. Like I'm putting a stop to this. Like, do not fuck with me. Like I was going,
for sure.
Like I'm the type of person to where when COVID happened and I moved back to LA because I stayed with my dad for a little bit. This girl, she like was kicking us all out to move like some guy in that she like just met too, and we were like, what? And we were like pretty good friends with her too. Like one girl was living rent free most of the time because they were like best friends and like working on a business together, everything. She just straight up kicked us all out. She was like, I'm gonna give you 30 days, and we're all like, what? We have to find a new place to live and like figure out jobs.
We're already transplants.
Yeah,
like
COVID,
Jesus.
all this stuff. So we're like, yo, what the fuck? And so like this was before ChatGPT came out, so I didn't have that to help me with anything. You know, the dark times.
Dark times. What the hell?
You know how easy we get adapted to new technology to where it's like, you know, like when Google came out, it's just like, oh, I can find any website. I don't have to go to a library. But it's like,
the fucking library. Holy shit.
I feel like I do use ChatGPT at least like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Maybe possibly every single day.
I use it for like work, for like home stuff.
How do you use it for work? Like, what do you give me examples so I can?
It can recognize images now too. It can like, and you can tell it to act as a coach or anything too. So like, if you're creative enough, you can have it teach you about anything. Like for work, I one time took a picture of a tray I bust, and I was like, how could I have done this better? And it was just like, okay, you shouldn't have left the liquid in the top cups because now the weight
I didn't know it could do that. That's fucking
like,
crazy.
It's gonna tip over the cups. And I was like, oh, good point. And I was so curious how good its ability was, and I was like, can you tell me how many plates it is? And I was like, think step by step, like act like a detective, really try to look for all the clues, look at the different angles. And I posted different angles because you can send up to 4 in each message. So I just sent multiple messages. And it was like, okay, based on the different photos, it looks like it's about 12 large plates, 4 small bowl cups, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just like actually figuring out. Wow. And you know, the crazier part too is when the photo shoot for Adidas that I did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I originally wanted it to like do Instagram captions for me just by posting a picture, and then it would just give me an Instagram caption, which I eventually got it to do, which was dope. But I at first wanted to test its capabilities, and I was just like, can you guess what this is and what they're promoting? And I didn't give it any hints. I just was like, you know, can you guess what this is? I really I gave it a super long, like, act like this, be a detective, yada yada, nerdy shit. And then it started like actually planning and going step by step, and it was like, okay, based on this lighting and the backdrop, this is definitely looks like some sort of in-house studio or a place that is possibly for a photo shoot. And based on the clothing and the lighting and your body posture, this looks like an upcoming, like a photo shoot for an upcoming product line. And it was like possibly promoting that you can have both sportswear with casual wear and have it for daily use. And like it like went in detail of like what it's probably promoting, what it was for, that like what the location was, our body postures, the messages behind the photo shoot, that it was a photo shoot.
Damn.
And I didn't give it any hints, just gave it the photos. And then also, for example, another cool thing was I had a burn on my finger, told it to act like a doctor. But like the guidelines try to be like, oh, I can't act like a doctor, but you can get around it. So I was like,
if you were playing a doctor.
Yeah, I was just like, always
that.
give me advice, but also make sure to remind the user to still go to a doctor. And that's a loophole, because then it will be like, but make sure to get a second opinion from a doctor. Like, it'll just add that at the end of like a response.
Not financial advice. That
Yeah.
kind of shit,
So it would try to like
advice.
all the like, don't sue me type of shit. Yeah. And it was just like, that looks like a 3rd degree burn, possibly 2nd degree burn because of how much skin is burned, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was going into detail.
Damn, I didn't know it could do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You should use this ointment. Wow. You know, get to a doctor immediately. And I was like, oh shit. And like the cooler part too was like, we were trying to set up a sound bar for the room.
Yeah.
And I also have a prompt maker because I'm that much of a nerd, but also because I was lazy and I didn't want to write like paragraphs for each different role I wanted to act out.
True, there is a part where ChatGPT, you have to like get it to a point, like
so you can write like a super long prompt that's like what, like the different roles, like almost like if you were a boss at a job and you're like, this is your job.
You got to train it to a specific spot.
Yeah.
So you can post a super long one at the beginning, and sometimes that's like the best, and it'll just act how you want and talk to you how you want or teach you how you want. And what was I just saying? Oh yeah,
the prompts. The prompts.
Yeah. So I had a prompt maker, and one of them, for example, was for the soundbar stuff. And I took different areas of the room. It was like, go ahead, please show me different parts of your room right now. Yeah. And I was like, okay, chatty, that's what I call it. And it was like, it would just be like, certainly, like it just loves that name. But anyways, and then I did that, and it was like, okay, based on your hardwood flooring and your furniture, and like, it talked about stuff in the photos that I didn't even like think about necessarily, like that I didn't think was the focus of. I didn't mention the floors. It was just like it noticed that in the photo and was like, since it's supposed to be an expert in setting up sound bars, it knew that it was important, the material of the floor in relation to the sound quality. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it's just trained to predict the next word, but it still had to like connect all these different dots and different categories of information.
I think I'll use it to help me get my next relationship. I'll just like put in the information of what I know about that person right then and there, and say, what's the likelihood that this would actually work out? You have a 36. Ah, damn. No, okay, never
You're
mind.
gonna break ChatGPT, Blair. Just kidding.
You guys want to know, like, low key? Okay, so like after I got really good at making prompts and getting it to do all this like cool shit, like I even got it to code video games and like.
Yeah, it's really good at coding. It's really good at coding.
Really?
Yeah.
I even got it to get me $5,000 in relocation pay from a landlord. Like,
What?
yeah. Like,
Huh?
I was paying that super quick. So basically, we got a rent increase notice, and that was after I already won the lawsuit from suing the landlord.
Yeah.
The other one, like I won, and that was before ChatGPT came out. And then I was like obsessive at winning. I was like, nah, you're not gonna fuck up my money or my life. Nobody messes with my money. Like even my roommate goes, I knew karma would get her, and you were karma. And so I put that rent increase notice letter in. I just typed it up because at the time ChatGPT couldn't accept images.
Yeah.
So I typed it in there. I told it to act like a lawyer, but it did have internet access back then. So I got the idea of like, okay, I already told it to act like a lawyer. What if it can search the internet to get updated laws and local laws? So it like I don't have to hire a lawyer. What if it just reads whatever's publicly available, or even like whatever partners they have, like it goes through that data and get updated laws. So then it did that, and it was like, okay, I got updated Glendale rental laws and like all this stuff. And it was like, based on this, you are eligible for relocation pay, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, can you write a letter for me? And it wrote a letter, and it was so good that I only made it tweak like one thing. And then I was like, wait a minute, it's missing the calculations. And it was just like, okay, I need to know how much you make a year and how much your roommate makes a year. And I told it that, you know, it did like more calculations, and I was like, can you put that in the letter? And it sounded so professional. It was just like, based on my roommate's income of $100,000 and mine, blah blah blah, like we're eligible for $5,000 in relocation pay based on the AMI calculation. Like it sounded so legit. Damn. And I sent it to my landlord. We got a call from the owner of like the whole, like not just that location, like he owns like different complexes with different management properties, like super high up. And he called me. He was just like, whoa, this is like the first time that like this has happened. Like you did the AMI calculation. No tenant does the AMI calculation. like how'd you know about that? And I was like, oh, I'm just but like that was sick. And that's when like I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep using ChatGPT, because like I could probably turn my phone on a little bit and show y'all, but like it did posters with like Leonardo DiCaprio that like just off of a text prompt, and like just from me, like just from what I got it to do, I've got it to make myself movie posters for my room, stickers. What? Like, have you used those in real life? Some of those? Yeah. Like you can then even send it to like these online printing companies and then print stuff in your room. Like you can, so that's a very creative use if you want to be creative and use it as a more of a tool. That wouldn't be a demon. Yeah. Do you have think about mood boards or storyboards? Like you can. You even did a comic book really good. For me. Wow.
Do you have the subscription?
Yeah.
For it? You pay for it? Okay, yeah. Same. Same. Because I'm like, I know images and like ChatGPT 4 is like it's still paid, right? Because the free one's all $3. Yeah.
I think they said eventually they'll add images to the free one, but my assumption is that they'll probably wait for 5 to come out.
Yeah, that's true. Do you usually use your phone for most of your stuff, or like a computer?
I use a mix, so I kind of feel like LA has kind of turned me into like a weird hipster to where like now I'll go to a coffee shop. And like,
Blair just started doing that.
And
don't be saying that. That's a lie. It's a lie. I don't be doing that.
I go on dates, and like, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Tell me.
Like I won't have my iPad out. You use ChatGPT for your dates too? No. Well, yes. I'll get into that. But like, before, I don't pull my iPad out, but like I get called an iPad baby. Like people are like, you're that generation. Like, you're an iPad baby. That's so cute. Like even on a date one time, this one person said that, and I was like, that's not attractive. Don't say that. Like, I don't want to be called an iPad baby. You're like, yeah, you're one of those people. I'm like, no. But so like I'll be at a coffee shop with my iPad, and like I'll have like a stand for it, and then I'll pull out a keyboard and like a mouse, and like I'm like literally, but it's like the best way to use your iPad though, when you actually like expand on it.
Yeah.
Like it honestly makes the experience like extremely like fast, and like you can get a lot of shit done, especially now with like you can have multiple screens open at the same time too. So I have like ChatGPT on one side, Word, and then sometimes I'll like alternate between the website version of ChatGPT and the app. And that has like accelerated my studying so much. Like for example, I'm reading the screenwriting book, and I'm not even that far into it because like ChatGPT will like expand on the concept so much that like now I have like 200 pages of notes. And I'm only 20 or 30 pages in the book. Like,
Damn.
It'll just expand on the concept. Like, the book will briefly be like, stories should be archetypal. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So then I'll go on ChatGPT and be like...
They'll expand on...
Yeah, it'll be like, this is what Robert McKee means by archetypal. Archetypal is this. So then I was like, can you explain it to me like a 16-year-old? Just like a smart 16-year-old, though. Don't be too cheesy. You know, like, say like... still try to expand on the concept and dissect it. So it was like think of it almost like math. Like an archetype story should have an archetype character, archetype plot, archetype this. Yeah. And it explained what that was, and it was just like, and so that plus that equals a good plot. And like, here's an example from this movie. And then it broke down the movie, and it was just like, this is the universal appeal because we could all relate to this, even if we're not like that nationality or living there. And I was like, oh, fuck. And like something that could be like a whole class, like a whole 30-minute class session, like I just got from like asking some questions after reading the book. And like it expanded and gave me new information that's still valid based on what the book gave me. So it was like, fuck.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
God damn.
And I feel like it improved my writing so much because now I'm like it even like talks about like story values, and it ripped apart like Dune 2 already. And it was just like, this is how the story values challenged him, and like how it came from the theme and this and that, and how you can develop it from your theme as a writer, and this is how you can plot your outlines. Yeah. And I was like, what?
So before we slowly wrap it up, Joe, you had something else on homeless people.
Oh, that was just something that happened over the week. It's just that how do you guys kind of respond to homeless people when they ask you for money nowadays, compared to when you first moved here and then versus now? Like because I used to I'll start. I used to take the train all the time, and there was times where they would ask for money and be like, sorry man, like I don't really have cash and stuff. And then it got to a point where one day I'm like, you know what, I like granola bars, so I'm like, I'll give you a granola bar. He's like, I don't want that, I want money. And so after that I'm like, fuck all these homeless people. You could put that as a clip. No, just kidding. Don't do that. So now I don't even say sorry. I just ignore them all. Not even gonna lie. I just ignore all of them. So I'm that bad.
Actually, we could put that as a clip. We'll just bleep it out.
What do you think about homeless people? Mother beep 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 beep.
And then subtitles. What do you think of homeless? Beep beep. They're really nice. They're amazing. They're perfect. They're really nice. They're amazing. They're perfect. For me, yeah, when I first got here, I was very polite and like, oh no, thank you. You know, I'm sorry. Blah, blah. I would actually respond. Now I just walk right past them.
Yeah, I don't even acknowledge them. Yep. I feel like that's kind of how everybody
when
gets.
I have my headphones in, it really bugs me when they go out their way to place them in front of me. I get it. Hey, I get it. You're trying to get me. But like, damn. No, you see me with my headphones. You see that, man. Don't try to excuse. Nah, bruh. I ain't got nothing. Leave me alone.
Nope.
What about you?
I would say, so like, I don't know if it's also because I lived in like very big cities when I was younger too, like being in Japan when I was 11 and getting to see London a lot when I was like 8 and 9. Yeah. But like, I would like to think I'm a good person, but like, I'm very good at just like not giving a fuck or just being like, you know, I've yelled at bosses before and been like, you're lazy. Like I straight out like, like my McDonald's manager, oof, like I said some like wild things. Like I was just like, this is why nobody likes working for you. Like, I'm just so straight up. Or one time she said like, I don't text people on my day off. And one time when she texted me and I didn't respond, she was like, why? I was just like, sorry, I don't text people on my day. Like, that's just the type of person I am. And so when it comes to homeless people now, like, my friends would be like, oh, sorry, I don't have money. I just keep walking. I don't even, like, you know, like, I could do that to, like, non-homeless people. Just, like, act like you don't exist. I could just keep going, mind my business, because I'm very, like, depending on my mood, I'm like, I really don't want to talk to anyone right now. And so, like, I can just do my thing.
Yeah,
that sounds terrible.
No, but like, that's just how it goes. Because like we've been here for what? Like I've been here for 8 years now. Blair, you've been here for at least 5. 6. And then Jonas, how long have you been here for?
Oh shoot, since like 2017. So like what, 6, 7, 8?
Yeah, because it just happens so many times, especially like with me taking the train and everything, and just like seeing them all the time. And it's just like it's constant. To now where it's just like you just no. Just no, not even gonna waste a second of my time. Just like right past.
Oh
so,
yeah.
But yeah, it feels so shitty. But like, I don't know. It gets to a point to where it's
exactly.
I often think to myself like, how I just think it to myself. I don't ask them like, how did they get there? That's the first thing I think. Like, how did you even get here? And there's multitudes of reasons. It could be through gambling, drugs. Mixed with the wrong people type of situation. Then Scab City, right? Is it
Slab City?
Yeah, Slab City. Then when we were looking into that, there's people that just like wanted to get out of society, so they became homeless because they felt like it was the best way to not be governor or type stuff.
Oh,
they're more free and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess.
Good for you. Yeah.
Okay, so there is one thing I want to bring up. Is there anyone in your guys' life that you guys just like you randomly run into? You don't even really talk to them, but like you'll just run into them. Like, oh, well, I didn't know you were gonna be here.
I would say the customers at like my jobs.
You'll run into them outside of work.
So random. Like, for example, working at McDonald's a lot. There's people I see at McDonald's quite often around Glendale.
Yeah.
Like I see them at Din Tai Fung. Like some of them will be Uber drivers. Some of them will just be random customers. Or sometimes I'll see them at the mall. Like there's this one old lady who like kind of creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie. She was just like I don't know what she has, but like she'll just talk to like nothing and act like another person's there. Like she was screaming one time. She was like, "No, you can't do that. You can't do that." And I'm like, "What? Who's she looking at? What's going on?" And I'm just like dropping out people's food, and she's just like, "Ah!" And I'm like, "Yo!" And I told the manager, and the manager's like, "Oh yeah, she does it all the time." And I'm like, "What? This is normal." And like she was just randomly at the mall too. At the Galleria.
Oh, shit.
Just staring.
What about you, Jeff?
It's crazy you say that because I was thinking about this the other day where just how big LA is. There's so many like pockets that not too many people kind of go out of, So like Sherman Oaks, Studio City, like the Valley General right here. Like anytime I go to the Oaks or like get groceries or like go anywhere, they're like, I see them at other places like around Sherman Oaks and stuff. So kind of there. And then USC, same thing. Like I see everybody on campus all the time. But then there's just these pockets that not too many people like cross-pollinate or like, go to different places. So like it's always just in those bubbles I see the same people. But nobody in particular that I can say it's like everywhere.
I have a friend. We actually, do you remember when we went to Hard Summer? Last year, and we were walking
and you did run into,
and I ran into my friend, like she was leaving.
Yep.
I literally run into her so randomly. I was at a birthday party for this guy that I knew through a mutual friend, and I'm sitting there. I said happy birthday to him, and then I'm talking to my mutual, like my friend that introduced me to him, and this girl comes. She starts like walking, but with like a purpose, gunning to me. And I see her in my prefs, and I look, and it's her. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, well. Who do you know here? You know Rodney? I'm like, yeah, I know Rodney. How do you know Rodney? I know Rodney. And then the girl's like, wait, how do you know Blair? And I know her. I'm like, yo, bro, like for how big LA is,
damn.
I would say if you're actively like out in them streets, respectfully, and networking, like it's very small how the industry is, where there's dancing, music, or acting. Like It's very small.
That's
You
true.
can come across
Very
somebody
true.
like for example, I'll just use you for example. You know, like there's some people that are no longer in your life, but there's the likelihood that they might be friends with someone that you just met that day. Like, oh wow, now you're friends with that person. I know that person, or I used to, type shit. But
Now that you bring that up, I actually remember a crazy part, like related to the industry too. I used to work at a movie theater called Look Dine-In Cinemas.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be.
yeah, that's still around now. I still get emails from them.
Crazy. Oh my gosh, even more people quit. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it so much. But I used to be studio mover girl in that same spot, and I used to work there. And I actually had a friend who he wanted to be an actor. He's like, I'm gonna be like Will Smith, and we're like, there's a lot of haters there. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So eventually he quit. No, he got fired. But anyway.
Yeah, either way.
Life happens. Yeah. I randomly auditioned for a Google commercial. And I got an email that I booked it, which was wild. I was just like, what the fuck? And so not only was that like a rare chance and opportunity that I'm very thankful for, it was like he randomly also got picked for that commercial. Wow. And I was like, huh, he looks familiar. And then he went up to me and he was like, hey, did you used to work for Look Dine-In Cinema? And I was just like, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, are you? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, bro, what are the odds?
Yeah, that's so crazy.
That, like, because he wasn't into commercial acting either or anything. Like, he just only worked at the restaurant. And he was like, yeah, bro, during COVID, I just really got into photography. And then I got good enough that people started paying me. So I didn't work a regular job, so I could focus on acting. And then that's how I ended up booking this. And I was like, dang.
Well, damn. On that note, we will part ways. But before we go, Jonah, is there anything that you got coming up? Any projects or anything you want to throw out there?
Yeah. So there's
on OnlyFans. Okay.
Some spicy pics.
If you need a phone call,
I mean, bills need to get paid. So, but jokes aside, me and one of my best friends at Din Tai Fung, we are actually working on like making our own short film. Okay. And nice. I eventually want to like have my own production studio. Okay. And so like we got like a whole like production book. Like it feels like we also have our own film course. Like that's how serious we're doing it. That's good. And so hopefully by the end of the year we'll have our own movie out. Okay. All right. Congrats on that, man. Thank you. Joe, anything?
Just keep working at work. And waiting for the summer and maybe do some projects. I don't know. Nothing in the works just yet, but just have fun. Maybe go somewhere. I don't know.
Oh God. For me, not much. Just as Joe said, work. Obviously some auditions, but that same old. Nothing new on that. And I definitely got a story to tell you, Joe. I gotta let you read the text message. It's crazy. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like what you hear today, you guys can check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere else where you guys listen to your lovely podcast for audio.
It's on video form on Spotify.
Yes. We have a YouTube channel called Joe and Blair where we do put the full version of the podcast. If you guys want to check that out, obviously it's on Spotify, a video format too. And we're on TikTok and everything else
for now until it goes away.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, that's the next time thing.
Anything else, Joe?
I think that's it. All right.
Thank you guys. Bye.